What is going on? I'm Jake. Welcome back to KALE Robot. If you watch my morel and smoked avocado taco video, I promised you a deep dive on the Salsa Roja on that taco. Well, here we are. Let's talk ingredients really quick. First up is Guajillo Chilies. Now, if you're not acquainted with them, guajillos are a mainstay in my pantry. These chilies have barely any heat to them. They are a foundational chili in Mexican cuisine, and they're equally as suited to building complex salsas as they are more simple ones like I am here today. Now, to borrow a couple of wine terms, guajillos are both dry and tannic. Dry meaning they are not sweet, and tannic meaning they have a compound in them, tannins, that leave your tongue with a dry sensation. What is great about tannins is that it makes your tongue extra receptive to fat, meaning it's extra receptive to flavor. Next, there are a couple of dried herbs I add here to give a little depth and complexity to this otherwise pretty simple salsa. First up are avocado leaves. And now, while one day I'd love to get my hands on some fresh avocado leaves, the dried ones are great. First of all, because they are super accessible. You can get them pretty easily at most Mexican grocers or very easily online also. Avocado leaves add this sort of gentle anise flavor, and there's also this incredible aromatic quality. Now, the other herb I'm using here is called pericon. It also goes by the name of Mexican marigold or Mexican tarragon. Pericon is amazing. I've been hooked on this herb for quite a little while now, ever since I stumbled upon it. It is dried and then packed after it's gone to flower. And while it is a flower, it's floral, it holds up really well to stronger flavors as well as complement them. So when cooked with chilies, it's actually a beautiful combination that has a great affinity here, and it adds a lovely sort of background note. Now, towards the end of the cooking time here, I add a couple of last ingredients. I add some sauteed garlic because first it has a great affinity with guajillos, and it also adds a great base layer of umami. Next, I use some chiles de arbol as well. Guajillos play really well with other chilies, and since they're mild, I wanted a salsa with a little bit of heat to it, so adding a few chiles de arbol just ratchets that up just a little bit. Okay, to get this salsa started, I first set up a pot of water and bring it up to a boil. Then I put a saute pan over medium-high heat, and once it's hot, I add the guajillos. I'll flip them over a couple of times so they don't burn, and once they become toasty and fragrant, I'll pull them off the heat. Then I stem and de-seed the chilies. While the guajillos are pretty mild, I recommend using gloves during this process, even though I didn't. Once I prepared the guajillos, my water is boiling. I turn off the heat and dump them all in. This is going to soften the chilies, and they'll begin to steep their flavor into the water like tea. After about 20-30 minutes, I set up my pot of steeped guajillos next to the cup of a blender. Technically, you can just dump all the water and guajillo into the blender and reduce the water later, but to keep this speedy, I put in a little extra work on this end. I'll put the strained guajillo flesh into the blender first, and then I ladle in just enough water to cover by about an inch or so, keeping in mind that the guajillos float. I'll reserve the remaining steeping liquid if I need it later. Then I blend on high until it's a smooth mixture. It shouldn't be too viscous at this stage, and if you taste it now, it's going to be pretty boring since we have not added salt, fat, or garlic. Next, I transfer the guajillo mixture back into the emptied saucepan and bring it up to a simmer. Once simmering, I'll add the avocado leaf and pericon. Then I let it cook at a moderate simmer until reduced by about half, and the bright red color of the guajillo has begun to darken. This is going to be about 15-20 minutes. While that's simmering away and perfuming your kitchen, we set up the last few ingredients. First, I'll slice 1 clove of garlic and set that to the side. Next, I'll bring out the Arbol Chilies for some heat. I tend to make these in batches and use them for sprinkling on tacos and other things, but for this recipe, we'll use about 5 to 10 chilies. Before toasting them, I break these small chilies in half or in thirds, keeping all of the seeds. Then I toast everything. Keep in mind, Arbol Chilies are spicy. Now, I'm doing that thing again here where I'm not using gloves to prep them. Don't do what I do. My bad decisions are mine alone. Another note of caution here though. Toasting these can make some of those spicy compounds in the chilies airborne. Turn on the ventilation above your stove, crack a window, or otherwise breathe through your nose while keeping a slight distance here. Don't worry, these are not like habanero or ghost pepper spicy or anything, but they have kick. Once the Arbol Chilies are prepared, I set them aside and grab a small saucepan. To this, I add about 2 tablespoons of coconut fat and set it over medium heat. Once hot, I add the garlic and a small sprinkling of Arbol Chilies. What I'm adding here will make the spice level about a medium. I keep the sauce, a ladle, and a mesh strainer on hand here so I can work quickly while the garlic caramelizes but doesn't burn. Keep in mind that adding liquid to hot oil is going to cause a lot of spattering, so I pour the liquid in heavy and at an arm's length. The mesh strainer filters out the herbs here but also helps keep down some of that inevitable spattering. It will settle down fairly quickly once the guajillo liquid encompasses that infused oil. Once I strain all the guajillo mixture, I press it through the strainer with my ladle just to get it through. I give this newly born salsa a quick stir, some salt, and just let it simmer until reduced by half and darkened even more. Season to taste and pull off the heat. Serve it hot or at room temperature with tacos, eggs, mushrooms, or steak. This will taste a little bit better the next day and will be good for about a week in the fridge. And that is Salsa Roja number 1 on the channel here. The guajillos and the Arbol Chilies offer both a deep chili flavor along with some good chili heat. The pericon and the avocado leaf add a nice herbaceous back note, while the garlic sort of enlivens the whole thing and connects all the dots. There is, of course, endless permutations for how you can make salsas, and I've got more coming. If you enjoyed this video, please click that like button down below. And if you want to see more videos like this, if you want to see Salsa Roja number 2, hit the subscribe button and you will not miss out. That's it for me today. I'm going to get out of here. Thank you again for coming. I'm going to see you next time. Bye now.